All right, I planned on combining this into the other video, but there wasn't a whole lot of negatives, which is a good thing. But there's always things that you don't like, and I so I want to, but unfortunately, negativity does sell on YouTube much more than the positive stuff does. So I want to go over kind of quickly. It'll be a short video. Number one thing. Again, these are smaller things because I had an amazing time. I wish I was back next week. So put that preface in there. Number one was the Platinum Party. Everybody knows the Platinum Party, unless they change it, is going away in a couple years, I guess it is. But the Platinum Party was a joke. I mean, it was a giant waste of my time. It started on that C day. We had a C day the second to last day, I think it was. It started at 4:30. I got there at about 10 minutes early, but then they started 17 minutes late. So you kind of wait around for 30 minutes to get started, and they had some live music, kind of going for doing that 17 minutes. But they didn't open the doors till, with the Platinum Party, you got a lot of elderly people. They get there early, so they didn't open the doors, and that kind of just created a logjam of people there. They also, another thing, they did have the drinks there. I didn't see any of the staff necessarily there. I think it may have been like fun staff or something like that, but the cruise director was not actually out there, which to me he should be. On the way back, they had then moved the drinks and stuff, so you kind of had to, because I was going to pick up another drink on the way back, but I couldn't because they were already closed. But the biggest thing was, it was just, like I said, it was a gigantic waste of time, because I'd been better off just staying outside in the sun where I was. It was nothing to it. It didn't last 10 minutes tops, absolutely tops. There was no video, food going around. There were no waiters going around asking for stuff. It was just, they did the managers, I guess, walk through the stage. They did the longest, youngest cruiser, oldest cruiser, and that type of stuff, and that was it. The cruise director did not really speak. He didn't say, "I'm glad you're here, thank you," all that kind of stuff. And the other, thing that I was interested in, that probably the reason I went, was I was going to ask a question about the Platinum Party, and they did not do question and answer, which I know was on purpose. They'd already got a question about the Platinum Party that the cruise director completely dodged during the Q&A earlier. But yeah, no Q&A, which had to be on purpose. Number two was the comedians, and that's not necessarily talking about the specific comedians on board. I just felt like they wasn't. The last ship when I was on the Jubilee, they had late night comedy about, not every night, but most nights, about half the nights they had late night comedy about 11:30. They did not have any of late night comedy this time, except for maybe that one night, and they just felt like they didn't have as many night comedians as usual. But to me, that's kind of how I judge, in a weird way, kind of contradicting myself, how I judge whether or not a cruise is good is how much comedy I go to. Because if there's nothing else to do, I got comedy. But if I don't think they didn't change comedians that much. I think they may have some, but they didn't change comedians as much as usual, especially for an 8-day cruise. So I thought that was noteworthy. Let me know if you've been on a 7-8 day Carnival cruise recently, and if you saw a downtick in comedians. Number three is about the food. Now, I like the food, so it's not, I gained 11 pounds, so clearly I ate well. But I think if you take a step back and look at the big picture, I feel like the food quality is slowly getting worse. And I don't think it's as simple as well, they're making the free food better for the paid restaurants. Because last cruise, I didn't do any paid restaurants this time, but I don't think the paid restaurants are amazingly either, as far as the difference in the price. To me, I think that the food you can see is slowly getting worse, and within 5 years, it's going to be going. It's going to be worse than it is now. Is my projection. Of course, on this ship, there's plenty of stuff to eat, more stuff than you can eat for as the option side. But I think overall, I don't know if there was only a handful of things I ate all week that was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. There were a lot of things that were good, but not a lot of things that were great, if that makes sense. So, yep, that's it. That's my three things I didn't like, which, again, had an amazing time. Wish I could go back tomorrow.